Good morning. About 7:20 right now on a Friday. Feels like Saturday because I have the day off for some reason. As you may know, I drive a van for a local school district and we have Friday and Monday off, so 4-day weekend. And we got some snow overnight. Now, the National Weather Service backed off of their earlier prediction. Yesterday afternoon, they were saying 1 to 3 inches for us here in Harlan, Iowa. And then they changed it to under an inch possible. And we ended up with about an inch. So we'll give it to them either way. Just some really light snow coming down right now. Not expecting any additional accumulations. There you see my VW Bug, my Beetle, and then behind me the 1,000-acre wood. All right, more like 5 acres probably, 5 or 10. But we do have some deer back there, some wild turkey, some pheasant, cottontails. I've seen them running around. And probably some fox and other things that I haven't seen. Lots of squirrels, of course. So it's a beautiful place to be. And with a fresh coat of snow, it's very nice. It's not going to stick around very long. 23 degrees right now. Today's high about 30. But even with a little bit of sunshine or, solar radiation making it through the clouds, we'll probably melt some of this snow in the sun or, what's not in the shade. And then 50s returning next week. So it's not going to stick around very long. But it's just a reminder, winter is not done yet. And even March can be a very snowy month here in the Midwest. All right. Well, that's the beautiful scene outside this morning. Let's pitch it back into the studio to Mike, who has your forecast for the rest of the nation. Thanks a lot, Mike. It looks like a lot of fun out there. I know. It's nice to see a fresh coat of paint on the Midwest. It's not going to last long, as Mike said, but it is purdy this morning. And I'm not sure why I have today off. Monday, of course, is President's Day or Washington's birthday. But today, I think they're having teacher in service or something. But no snow day, no delays, because there's no school. Pretty nice. All right, let's get into the forecast for the rest of the country because, there's a little bit going on. When the weather gets quiet, it's bad for clicks on a weather channel. So thank you for being here. All right, right now we're looking at winter weather advisories for parts of Missouri through Illinois, Indiana, Ohio Valley, including Ohio, parts of Kentucky, West Virginia, and then all the way to the East Coast, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, even parts of New Jersey. North of that, it's a wind advisory. For Pennsylvania, New York, into Connecticut, Massachusetts, and then a little bit of a winter storm warning for northern New York with some snows off the lakes and a little bit of a winter weather advisory for New Hampshire into Maine. Still have our flood watch for northwestern Mississippi and river flooding concerns from South Carolina back to East Texas. Meanwhile, a little further to the west, we're looking at winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings for Colorado, Utah, Wyoming, especially parts of Idaho and Montana. Oregon with a winter storm warning for parts of the Cascades. It looks there, the northern Cascades of Oregon. It's a wind advisory for the northern California coast and a winter storm watch for the Sierra Nevada in California. Yeah, another storm heading for California, which we will show you. Here's what's going on today at the surface, and you can see why we have those watches and warnings. Lingering snow for parts of Iowa and moving into Missouri this morning. Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, you're next. With heavy snow for West Virginia into Pennsylvania, also parts of New York State. Further south, it's thunderstorms along that stationary front, Arkansas, Tennessee, Mississippi, a little bit of Louisiana, Oklahoma, and Texas. And then further south from that, it's just your general rain. As a cold front will approach tomorrow, we'll show you that here in a second too. Meanwhile, our showers and storms, our snow showers and our snow storm for Colorado, Wyoming, with heavy snow near Yellowstone and into Idaho. Also heavy snow for the northern Oregon Cascades with that system there. Today's high is a little cooler than it's been. with our little system. So not getting above freezing here in Harlan, and for much of Iowa, we're staying below freezing. Same for Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota, Wyoming, staying below freezing for the most part. Same for Montana. And highs only in the single digits and teens for parts of Minnesota. So a little bit of that cold air sneaking into the northern plains and northern Midwest. But further south, it's still warm. But that's going to change tomorrow. So as we look at tomorrow's highs, the northern states moderating a little bit, but the cold air heading all the way to the Gulf Coast. And so highs today in Texas, 60s, maybe even some 70s in there. It's hard for me to make it out on this little map. But tomorrow, much cooler, 40s and 50s, as that cold front goes all the way to the Gulf Coast, for example. So tomorrow's surface shows that cold front going all the way to the Gulf Coast with some showers along it. Looks like a mix of precipitation, Colorado, New Mexico, Oklahoma Panhandle, and then back towards Oregon and Washington. Even some freezing rain possible. Columbia River Gorge, of course, and even some heavy rain flash flooding possible for tomorrow for the Northern California coast, and that heavy snow possible for the Sierra Nevada. And as we round out the weekend, snow lingering in the Northeast, and our next system moving into California and the West Coast, and a lot of rain for the California coast and heavy rain flash flooding possible there. So let's take a look at the latest GFS run from this morning and show you what's going on. And here is our patch of light snow. This is 6 o'clock this morning, so an hour or so ago. And probably a little bit further to the north, because our light snow is ending right now at 7:45. But this area of light snow and a little bit heavier as you get into Illinois continues to sink off to the southeast and moving east. And then our next system here with those watches and warnings from Yellowstone, where it's coming down pretty heavily, back into Idaho, parts of Montana, and even back towards Oregon. A little bit of snow here. It's rain along the Gulf Coast and for southern Texas. Now, as we go through time, as we like to do, watch this area here, our little snowstorm actually gaining a little strength and a little bit heavier on the snow for parts of Missouri into Illinois, even Indiana. And that'll be moving in as rain into Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas. But some of that snow might be sneaking a little further south into Kentucky, West Virginia, and heavy at times for the northern half of the Bluegrass State. And then finally getting down towards Bowling Green, a little further to the east. Heavy snow here for West Virginia, starting to move into Ohio, Pennsylvania, parts of Virginia, and then as we get into, say, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Delaware, some pretty good snow. So that's why we have those watches and warnings there. And then we start to turn our eyes to the west as that storm exits left coast, and we start our... Is that the right coast? That's the right coast. Here's the left coast. We see increasing clouds, increasing showers, increasing storms as we get into the day tomorrow. This is Saturday morning. That would be 4 a.m. California time, Oregon time, Pacific Standard Time. And you see the heavy rain moving into the the Northern California coast as we get to 10 a.m. And then as we get into the afternoon, some pretty good rains from San Francisco north, starting to move down the Central California coast now. Heavy snow for the Sierra Nevada, lighter snow for the higher elevations of Oregon, rain along the Oregon coast. And that system moves in and turns into some nice snow showers here for eastern Oregon into Idaho, back towards Salt Lake City. A little bit of light snow in eastern Washington as well. And then we have another system. Oh, don't forget the heavy rain in Florida. Florida's been doing really well with this El Niño, and that was expected. And they were pretty dry going into this season. They've made up for it. El Niños tend to do that for places that get a lot of rain and snow for El Niño, like California. So as we're getting later into the day, Sunday, heavy rain continues for the Northern California coast, and now for the Central California coast as we start to get late in the day on Monday and into Tuesday. We see very heavy snow for the Sierra Nevada, very heavy rainfall, embedded thunderstorms, Central California coast, for the valleys of Central California. It's kind of the only game in town as we get into Monday. And so we see more rain, more snow for California. And even as we get into Tuesday now, we see those showers and storms moving further south. So this is late in the day Tuesday, it's at like 10 p.m. And we're talking showers and thunderstorms, LA to San Diego, still some good snows coming down Sierra Nevada. So, California, they've been having one heck of an El Nino, and it continues. And then we see as we get into Wednesday and then Thursday, we've got a nice little low here forming in the center of the country, say the southern plains, moving into Missouri, Illinois, Indiana. This would be Thursday morning, 6 a.m. So we're getting almost a week out, but looks like a rainy system moving into the Ohio Valley as we get into the 22nd and 23rd of February with some snow further to the north in New England, something to look forward to at the end of next week. Here are the trends for the temperatures. Still looking for above average temperatures much of the country. This is the 21st through the 25th. So even though a little bit of a shot of cool air today into tomorrow for the center part of the country, it's going to be warming right back up. The exceptions would be maybe San Diego, LA, with that rain that's moving your way, and then also for parts of Florida, the chance for below average temperatures. But precipitation-wise, kind of dry in the southeast, and the wet stuff staying mainly in California. Still a slight chance for above average precipitation through the Four Corners. We'll throw Nevada in on that too, and into the Central Plains. So Kansas, Texas Panhandle, Nebraska, parts of Oklahoma. Certainly, I did mention Four Corners. That does include you, Colorado, and up into Wyoming. And then from Ohio Valley up into New England, a chance for above average precipitation as we go. So nice to have some snow on the ground. I'm going to take a few pretty pictures and, of course, still have to run my errands in it today. You have a great, wonderful Friday, which is redundant, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow. Have a great day.